When I look at the political landscape and the economic landscape of the world, I really have a difficult time accepting that this is what life should be.
They had so many concerns about education, technology, agriculture, Barbuda, health, the environment. You will be so surprised as to what they are engaged in.
If we can do that, we can walk on that path, we will find a lot of solutions, we'll find a lot of adventures, we'll find a lot of answers.
We need to foster that entrepreneurial spirit.
No judgment, no negativity, all good vibes and conversations.
All this and more right here on Grassroots Radio.
Hi, my name is Yensa Werth, and I'm a photographer focused on wedding photography as well as portraits and creativity.
Awesome. And a lot of you may know Yensa from Instagram. I think you have quite a following there. And tell us about your background, kind of growing up in
All right, well, I was born and raised in Antigua. My father is American, so I'm dual citizenship. My mother is from Antigua. All of her family is from Antigua. So I literally have half of my family from America and half of my family from the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And it was a little interesting growing up because I was really integrated in my mother's family. And I didn't really know that much about my father's family. And then when I started to get a little bit older, I started to ask questions and get to know them a little bit better. And then that kind of raised questions in me about everything in the universe. Because I was like, wait, hold on a minute. I don't even know where half of me is from, where half of me even came from, where it rises, the roots come from. So I need to get with that because I feel like I don't even know that much because the roots really do make me because that's the kind of person I am.
Indeed. So what did you find out about your father's roots since then? And what age were you when you kind of started asking questions about the other side of your family?
I was probably about 7.
Okay, so you started early.
Yeah, I started early. I was like, how come your mother is this color? And how come your father is that color? And how come we're so mixed and we don't understand where we're from? I don't understand. How are we such a mixed family and we are not integrated connectively? I don't understand that. And then growing up and going away to America for 7 years and living there, I realized, okay, life is a lot more than I had ever expected. There's a lot more layers to it than I had ever known. And, sometimes people aren't comfortable with a part of life that they're about. And sometimes a part of their life isn't reachable to you because it just isn't that aspect of life that connects with you at that moment of time. And so as I grow older, I continuously start to always ask questions, not to start, but always ask questions. Even since from when I was young, I'm always the person to be like, why? But why? I don't understand why. Give me a little detailed explanation and give me a down low of why. And then I can get a better understanding.
So how did this, obsession with asking why and asking questions lead you into photography?
Because my father didn't really know about his whole background. And my mother didn't know so much, but she knew a lot more than my father did. And he started asking questions as well. And so he was like, hey, so actually, where are my roots from? Where are we derived from? And so I learned that we're, from my father's side, we're very heavily Eastern European, from Slovak, Czech Republic, and Germany, and a little tad of Russian. And we went on a river cruise when I was 13 years old, and my dad lent me his camera for the first time. And I was like, oh, he's like, I can see you're excited and I want you to embrace that. So take my camera and take whatever you want to take. And that is where my passion of photography grew, through my father and traveling from his roots.
Wow. Where did you go on this river cruise?
We went to 5 different countries. It was all down the Danube River. And so it went to Prague, Germany, Czech Republic, Slovakia, and another country that is now escaping my mind. But we went to all those little places on a river cruise. Yeah, it was amazing. About 150, maybe 100 people on the cruise. But we thought it was going to be a family-oriented cruise, and we found out
that it wasn't. It was the party cruise.
No, it was the all-people cruise.
Oh, damn.
And so I was the youngest on the whole boat.
And how old were you?
I was 13.
Oh, my gosh. So this dad and his 13-year-old on this senior's cruise.
And my sister was 16, and there was one other person who was closer to her age. And then there was a person about 3 years younger than me. So I didn't really have like an age group that I felt like I could really connect with.
Right.
So I just explored.
So you had the
myself.
camera.
Yeah, exactly. And
it's like, funny how those moments when like, you know, you don't have someone around to kind of occupy your time is when you turn to, you know, your craft or something.
Yes, yeah, your craft, your imagination to create a craft of some sort. So
that's how I started writing as well. It was like, I'm bored, nobody's around, you can't go, you're too young to go out, you know, you're too a little bit too old to like, I don't know, play with toys really. Yes,
right? All these different things that are putting all these limitations on us. And it's like, who are you to tell me what I can do?
Okay, and then I guess that was kind of where the love of photography was sparked, and then you went on to actually study it. Is that correct?
Yeah, so I studied under Vanessa Hall, a well-known photographer, a well-known wedding photographer in Antigua, and now she's kind of branching out into more documentary photography, and I've kind of honed in on that aspect of the true kind of rawness of personality through weddings, through her. That's who I gained that from, the natural light, the natural emotions, everything. If I didn't study under Vanessa Hall, I don't think I would have been able to get to that point so fast, you know? And because of that, I got into my photography school, Brooks Institute, which was one of the second top photography schools in the world at the time. And I finished it in about 4 or 5 years because it was a bit of a struggle, I'm not going to lie. I was a bit in a culture shock with America and California and all that.
What were some of the big differences for you?
Just not having a community or a network to go back to was the biggest downfall. And then the other downfall was kind of, you know, the whole issue that I'm not white and I'm not black. And I'm a very mixed. Yeah, and everybody thought I was Mexican. In California.
I do not mean to laugh, but that's hilarious.
No, I know. I would have laughed too. I didn't know that was, such a problematic thing in California until I was there.
Right.
And then I saw that difference, and I was like, oh, these old white women are looking at me in judgmental, frequencies. What is this
about? You came across the border, you snuck across, and they don't know why you're here.
Exactly. So I went through that for a couple of years, and then I just was like, you know what, fuck it. I'm going to just do me. I'm going to hone in on my energy and just create what I want to create without the boundaries of people who expect me to be a kind of certain person. So on that note, I invented a series in 2015 called Love Yourself. And it's a personal series that promotes self-love and celebrates nature. It's a series that I created for myself and others. So, we get so caught up in the web of life and we forget about the most important things, ourselves and nature. And so this series is to kind of get you more in touch with that and get you kind of out of your comfort zone, get a little, naked and see what you feel like that. And I'll capture your most beautiful side with you being naked in nature.
So what do you think it is about men that are reluctant to do this? Why do you think it appeals more to women than to men currently?
To be honest, I'm still trying to get to that point, to understanding that. But to the most part, I understand that, sexualization with women is more comfortable in society than it is for men. And, it's not about the sexualization for me. It's about the comfortness in your own skin. And that's what I'm trying to differentiate with this, because you don't have to sexualize your body in order to feel comfortable in your body or to have other people feel comfortable with your body. Mm-hmm. And you can do this in a natural and most classic way. And so I'm just trying to, get more into that and kind of find pieces to put that puzzle together so that I can create awareness for other people in the same time.
Backtracking a little bit, you mentioned that when you were in California, you started this series. It brought you into contact with a lot of, really interesting, fascinating, open people. And who has this series brought you into connection with in Antigua?
So the series has caught me into a line with Antigua, with Faith Alangola. She was the first person that I photographed for my Love Yourself series in Antigua. And I went to her house. She is an Italian Antiguan and born and raised in Antigua, but her family is Italian. And our family have known each other for a very long time. And we kind of crossed paths. We were different ages, but we crossed paths and we're like, hey, yeah. And so it kind of came together, and I went to her house and we just got creative. It was amazing. We probably took like 2 or 3 hours out of our day to get creative. And we're just like, yes, let's do this. And I'm really happy because she felt really happy with herself afterwards. And then the lady after that was Tessa Antiphe, who is actually a model right now, a top model in the world. And I was best friends with her sister, one of her sisters, because she has 3, growing up, Tatiana. And I was like, hey, you're in Antigua, you're a model, want to collaborate? And so we collaborated, and we made magic. It was awesome. It was amazing. I was like, wow, you make this look so effortless. Like, how do you do that? How are you so comfortable with yourself? And so every time I'm on this photo shoot, I always ask questions, and I always make sure people are comfortable, but also, like, if I can comfortably push you to a limit that you're comfortable with, I'll do that if you give me the leeway to do that. You know what I'm saying?
Do you find that it's sometimes hard for people to, like, let go?
I completely understand that. Mm-hmm. I'm with a complete understanding with that, because I came with that too. I'm more comfortable behind the camera than I am in front of my camera. So I completely understand. And I have, sympathy and understanding for these people. And I try to get in their mindset so that they're not feeling so pressured and they don't feel so much anxiety to be in front of a camera, but also feel beautiful, because it's not supposed to be a pressured thing. It's supposed to be an effortless thing, because you are beautiful and all I'm doing is capturing you as you are.
You're seeing what they can't yet see and helping them to see it.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, so I kind of want to talk about, like, collaboration, because part of this project at the New Grassroots is encouraging connection between young people in Antigua who are kind of striving in their own different ways, but, like, have in common that kind of striving and trying to do their own creative, independent thing and create sort of the world that they want to live in, where they happen to be already.
Yes, and it's so hard.
It's
hard in Antigua. It's fucking hard in Antigua because you're like, oh, okay, my mother wants to be a doctor, a lawyer, a so-and-so and so-and-so, or either marry a doctor or lawyer and then I have to be so-and-so and so. And it's like, okay, but like, why can't I just have it all? I don't understand. If I can make room for it all, why can't I have it all?
Yeah, and so, I mean, that's your thing. If your thing is, I'm really academic, I want to be a doctor, I want to be a lawyer, like, great, we need those people, but everyone isn't that. And there's a lot of pressure for everyone to be the same.
Especially in the Caribbean, I feel. Like, I thought it was going to be more so in America, but it's more so in the Caribbean. Mm-hmm. And when I came back, I was like, oh, shit. Like, wow, we're more blindsided than I ever thought. It's insane.
Yeah.
But we're slowly getting there, because I love collaborating with artists and people with the passion to create. And a recent art gathering that I went to was Old Souls, which is created and curated by Tiffany Samuel and Krista Joy Burton. And it was beyond amazing. I made 3 pieces. And it was mixed media with photography and painting. And, I only moved back to Antigua about 2.5 years ago. So being a part of this was actually so wicked because I was like, oh, yay, like, wow, it's like a little hub of artists coming together.
Yeah, where did this happen? And
it happened in a private villa and in Turtle Bay. And it was a private complex, and it was 20 EC for the admission. And then it was about, how many artists? It's hard to count, but it was different artists. So it was painters, photographers, mixed medias, spoken word, singers, as well as rappers and dancers, all coming together in one place. Mm-hmm. And I was like, whoa, I've never seen that come together. And there was no judgment, no negativity, all good vibes and conversations about the art and performances. It was a mixture of so many things. And like, when I was growing up, that was never, ever able to be found. Like, if I was trying to look for that when I was growing up, that was, no. You're in your dreams. That ain't happening. Like, go to America, bitch. And so, like, when I found that, I was like, wow. And then I recently also went to a thing called Spilling Ink, which is a wonderful poetry performance that was held at Area 51. And it was also amazing. I was like, wow. So many beautiful, powerful words from all these local Antiguans that I had never been able to like come in contact with. And then I was there, I was buzzing with all this energy. I was like, oh my God, I need to talk to you. I need to know where you're curating all your fucking thoughts from. Tell me. Right? It was beyond magical. I was amazed with both, like not just the poetry, but also Tiffany and CJ's plays, like the Old Souls. It was absolutely amazing.
It's great that all these little arts collective and different things like this are popping up in Antigua because we've always had a tremendous amount of talent and just like a lack of avenues for it to be expressed. And I guess one of the big differences now is social media and just the fact that people can put their stuff out there, be seen by other people locally, and then get together, and it's just so,
It's beautiful. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
I recently got internet from iNet. Shout out to iNet. Hey, and I was like, hey, I'm connected back to life. I can connect to people, artists, creatives, all of this thing. I'm like, yes, I am back. Exactly.
So why were you offline? What happened?
Because I recently moved into my own place.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you.
Awesome.
And I'm trying
That's a big milestone.
It is a big one. Mm-hmm. And I'm trying to open up a photo studio underneath me. So it's slowly, but it's coming along.
That's awesome.
It's coming along.
Congrats, man.
Thank you.
So, I mean, what other plans do you kind of have coming down the pipe in addition to opening your photography studio, stuff like that?
Well, just collaborating and like bringing forth people who can't be seen because of the platforms that are on and the people that they know. I want to connect with those people so that I can bring awareness to them so that we can all be seen, because I know what it feels like to not be seen, and it fucking sucks. It sucks so much. It hurts. It feels like you're not, a part of you is not alive because you're not being seen. Half of you is not being seen. So in any way that I can, I want to promote that. I want to promote you. I want to collaborate with you. I want to make sure that all of our dreams come true.
Yeah, because there's room for everyone.
Yes, exactly. There's room for everyone. There's not room for just one person. There's room for everyone. Everyone has something different to bring to the table. And even if it feels like it feels the same, it's completely different once you actually get to know the thing.
Yeah, so true. I mean, even when doing something like this podcast, we're looking for a certain type of person, right? And it seems like, okay, you check these 3 boxes. But then within that little category, like there's so many, like so much variation and so much variety, and everyone's like doing a completely different thing, but it's all like really cool and really worthy, and you know, they're happy and doing what they love doing. And I just
living their life.
See, more people flourishing like that.
Yeah.
And especially in such a tiny place, because oh man, it's like if you don't pull together and do it, like it's just not going to get done, right? There's no one coming to do the stuff for you.
Exactly. And I don't know what it personally is like to have traditional Caribbean parents, because my parents are completely creative. My mother is an interior designer and my father is an architect. My father is from America and my mother is from Antigua. And, they kind of see on the same plane. And to be brought up by them and then kind of brought up in the Caribbean with other humans, other children with traditional parents, I didn't understand where they're coming from, because I was like, I don't get it. Like, why don't you just create? Like, why don't you just be you? And then I realized that there's so many different, like all these blockages from different family lines and the
what schools
pressure.
Did you go to on Island?
I went to, so I started from young or preschool. And then I went to St. Kitts Unlimited. No, actually I went to St. Nicholas.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And then from St. Nicholas, I went to Kids Unlimited. Then from there, I went to St. John's Catholic Primary School. From there, I went to Island Academy. And from Island Academy, I went to CSET International School.
Okay.
So it's a lot of different schools.
It is a lot. But it's also kind of like private schools all the way. So I could see how there would be a divide between kind of that environment. And
exactly. And I'm like, I just want to be with the other kids. I just want to be with them.
I went to Foundation Mixed School, which is like School by Country Pond.
Yes,
then,
I know where that is. I was like, yes, I want to be in that. The mixed school, I'm mixed.
Yeah, it makes sense. And then I went to Pierce Secondary School, which is like in the country, and then State College. And it's different worlds. And when I went to State College, I made friends with Christ-King High School and like Antigua Girls High School, and it's a different vibe in those schools than it is in the country school.
So completely a different vibe in all the different schools.
Yeah.
Like, I could not believe it. I was like, whoa. And then now that I'm grown up and I know that someone was from a different turf, a different type of school and so on, I was like, oh, okay, I can put that together now. Like, oh, okay, I get that.
It's like one country, but different cultures.
Exactly. It's so interesting. So wild. But at the end of the day, we should all be standing together is what I'm coming to. That's at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
Those divides
are
different. Yeah, those divides are not actually real, and they're not actually what matters.
No, it doesn't. Yeah. No, not at all. I've had friends from all different kind of places. I have no segregation I have no like boundaries with that kind of thing, you know? I welcome all kinds of people to be my kind of friend because, you know, everybody brings something different and you never know what can happen with the friendship. So I'm never, you know, like, oh, that person's from that place, so I can't be friends with them. And Like, you know, like, what kind of thought process is that? That's ridiculous.
I guess for some people, it's uncomfortable if people aren't like them.
Yeah, and I get that too. I get that. It's just hard to get, but I get it.
Being as open as you are. But, you know, that's why we need your energy, right? It comes so naturally to you, and it's really hard for a lot of other people.
Yeah, it was interesting growing up with that because I didn't realize that I was so different until I moved away. And then I was like, oh, that's what made me so different. Oh, people aren't like that everywhere. It's not just Antigua. It's different. But before I leave, I want to say that also a really interesting and important topic is the preparation for creative process. The best place to start is with yourself as a professional. Start with your friends and then open up after that because you don't want to go out of your comfort zone because that takes you to a certain place that, you know, you don't feel comfortable with where you can't open up as you would with your friends. And how I started with photography was photographing myself and nature. And that's what brought me to where I am right now. I never thought that I would be into wedding photography, and that's what I'm doing right now. I'm wedding photographer, and I never thought that I would be a wedding photographer. I would be like, no, people no. And then now, after all the years that I've practiced and understood that, you know, we're all different personalities, we have patience, we have to understand that we, you know, we're on a wavelength. Sometimes it doesn't match, but you can kind of maybe tune up or tune down your wavelength to match that person a little more so you can get on that aspect. And then you can understand that a little bit more and they can understand you a little bit more. And then you can go from there. You just got to put yourself out there is what I'm getting to. But start small and then grow.
Nice. And you mentioned journaling. Do you have any journaling techniques? Yeah.
Yes, journaling. I've been journaling ever since I've been about 7 years old. I still have my journals from when I was about 10 or 13 years old. The ones before that I probably destroyed because of, I don't know, some temper tantrum, I don't know. But now I still have the 13-year-old ones, and I look back at them and I'm like, whoa. Like you see yourself grow, you see yourself, you understand yourself in a whole different aspect. And then with you understanding yourself, you get to understand other people. And it's so beautiful. My dad is the one who pushed me to journaling because I'm such an emotional person. I feel a lot. I tend to feel a lot from other people, whether they tell me what they're feeling or not. I feel what they feel. I'm a very empathetic person. And journaling really helped me with that. Kind of put my dots and my T's and all that together.
I think that's really good advice. I remember journaling too as a kid, and it's like, you know, it helps you kind of process what you're going through too. It's a lot of, I don't know, those kind of years are like confusing.
Exactly, they're so confusing, especially when you feel like you're alone.
Yeah, and you have all this like extra energy that you don't know what to do with, and it's like if you can channel it into something at first, then yeah, it helps you organize yourself.
Exactly. And I think that is the most important thing for an artist, a creative, anybody to do is to get a journal and start writing in that every morning and every night.
And I guess also having a mentor was a big thing for you. You mentioned
yes.
There, yeah.
Yeah, having a mentor was
How does one go about finding a mentor, especially if you're one of those kids that isn't necessarily, if you have more of a traditional Caribbean background and your parents don't necessarily know like what to do about your creative.
Yeah, that's actually, that is super hard. That's super hard because Vanessa Hall is a hall, which is one of the, well-known families on Antigua. And so it was a little bit easier for me to kind of hone in on that. Mm-hmm. But for other people, I would say, don't be scared to ask questions, to kind of get to know who is in the field that you want to be in and kind of shadow them. Don't be scared to. I'm not just into photography. I'm into all things creative. And I always promote kind of exploring that, because nothing will come to your front door. Nothing. And that's just kind of what it is. That's what life is. You have to find that, and it sucks. But if you keep on going, and if you keep on asking, if you keep on searching, something will come up because people are also here, and someone will hear your call. Someone will understand where you're coming from, and they will want to work with you. And I'll be one of those people because I always want to collaborate and take people under my wing,
Right. So reach out to Yensa if you're not sure what to do
reach out to me. Reach out to me.
Can I ask you about your spirituality? Because a lot of what you talk about feels to me to come from the spiritual place. You talk a lot about love and self and all of that. So where is that kind of coming from?
It definitely doesn't come from my mother. It comes from my father. The spirituality and the understanding that not one religion is made for one person. You can take different aspects from different things and create your own is from my father. He's the one who taught me that. And that's how I've been able to grow into the person that I am.
Cool. So what are some of the elements that make up the
number one is
Yensa's life philosophy?
Number one is definitely journaling. Number two is praying. Praying to the universe or the God, goddess, whatever you believe in, whatever, if it's more than one or one, whatever it is, you pray to that. You give gratitude and appreciation to that being, and you set intentions, and then you go on a lot with your life with those intentions on that day, and then you continue growing each day through those intentions while they grow and change throughout the kind of person that you are, because you're forever changing. All of us are forever changing and growing because of different things that life throw at us and the different things that we jump into life with. It's forever changing. And we will always be connected with that if we make a connection for ourselves. And that way for me is spirituality, and I make sure that I pray to the universe. I give thanks and praise to the universe, and I make sure that I set intentions all day, every day.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Grassroots Radio. If you enjoyed the conversation, show some love and help spread the word. You can do that by subscribing on Apple, Google, YouTube, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts. Already subscribed? Consider leaving a 5-star review. It helps other people find the show. If you have an idea for someone you want to see featured or a topic you want us to cover, let us know. DM us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at grassrootsanu, or email us at thenewgrassroots@gmail.com. For more about NGR, visit us at thenewgrassroots.com. Until next time, this is Grassroots Radio.